Good morning. I'm Mark Lutz, the representative from our annual fund campaign team, and being invited to stand up here in front of you this morning, the funding members of this community, makes me feel like a mosquito in a nudist colony. I know what to do, but where do I begin? Those of you who have been in this community for more than a few years know that we typically run our annual fund campaign in the fall, but we're moving it from the fourth quarter of the year to the first quarter so that we have more time to reflect on the gift we want to make. We don't want to shortchange that important decision. But more importantly, we're trying to wait till after Christmas to synchronize our giving with the story of Epiphany and this season, allowing our decisions to work along with the story of Jesus' birth and the coming of the Magi. Last week we celebrated this amazing story of Jesus' birth. But the practical reality is that Jesus was born into poverty. Mary and Joseph were poor. Tradition suggests that they had only a donkey to transport them from Nazareth to Bethlehem, and they had neither the money nor the clout to finesse their way into a hotel or any kind of bed. And then shortly after Jesus' birth, these wealthy kings and astronomers arrived, following this mysterious star as it slowly crossed across the night sky, visible only to those who had eyes to see and a will to pursue. And that star came to rest, beaming its light right over this dirty manger where this poor but holy baby was born. And there they showered the destitute family with their extravagant gifts that they brought on their camels: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. And in this pivotal scene of God's cosmic drama, the poor and the rich meet. And if you fast forward 33 years, right before Jesus' crucifixion, he calls his disciples together and he tells them one last story. He has a very important message he wants to leave with them, and it is this: care for the poor. In his final story, he tells his followers how they had clothed him and fed him and given him a place to sleep. And when asked, "When did we do that for you?" he said, "Whatever you did for one of the least of these, you did for me." So how do we do that for Jesus today? The least of these don't go to our church. Most of them don't live in Glen, Ellyn, or even our own country. So what Jesus is asking of us today is to open our doors and extend our love beyond our own comfortable walls. And that's why the campaign theme this year for the annual fund is a community without walls. Not literally, of course. I, for one, am very grateful for these walls today on this bitter January morning. And we have to maintain this beautiful sanctuary, and there's a whole complex around here that requires regular attention. Mundane, yet essential, often unnoticed details like plowing the parking lot or fixing those showers for our homeless PADS guests who spend the night with us regularly. Most importantly, we are led and served by an outstanding team under Seth's leadership. And every week, we're blessed by creative and dedicated musicians. Our children are safe and well-nurtured, and our young people are guided by this innovative sex education OWL program. And a dozen community groups regularly meet the interests and the needs of our diverse body here. And we do so many amazing things for those in need around us. And yet we could do so much more. We have tremendous momentum in this diverse body, with one common denominator, we're all followers of Jesus. And what we're about is nothing less than being a part of that answer to the prayer we just recited. Thy kingdom come to earth as it is in heaven, a kingdom of justice and love and hope. And that is the kingdom, and that is the church that we have the privilege of building. And I'm thrilled to be a part of it, albeit rather late to the party. My wife Lisa and I attended here starting about 4 years ago, and we became members last year. And we are the participants of a small community group that's been meeting for going on 3 years to study the Bible together. And in our short time here, we are the beneficiaries of this church's tremendous and varied offerings. But all of this requires money. Now, that's not a dirty word, and it's certainly no secret. There is no revenue stream other than your gifts and the people sitting in the pew next to you. For better or for worse, you're it. We're it. That is, unless you want Seth to start incorporating product placement into his sermons. So today we're respectfully asking you to consider prayerfully what you will give. Later this month you'll receive a letter and a pledge form, and we would be thankful if you would fill that out with a generous commitment and send it back to the church by the middle of February. Valentine's Day, if that makes it easier to remember. And we're encouraging you to be bold, to take a step of faith, and make this your first and greatest gift as you consider what part you would like to have in moving this vision forward, both in our own community and out into the world beyond us. And please don't act out of guilt or pressure, but I encourage you to respond rather out of deep gratitude. For every one of us in this room has hit life's jackpot. By being born in this country and living in this village. And as with the three magi, there was no one perfect gift. They all brought what they had. And so we thank you for bringing what you have to Jesus and helping us to bring God's kingdom to earth and building a community without walls. Thank you.